question was about conversational skills and just the rote learner and how to make a rote learner unstuck. We get this a lot, especially when you're teaching, feature function class, you're teaching those, kind of beginner intermediate questions, right? What do you do with this? What do you do with this? What category does this belong to? A truck is a type of blah, blah, blah. It's rote. Of course it's rote. And learners do learn that way. And a lot of that rote does lead to generalized language, but then there's some learners that it just doesn't. So what do you do and what's that transition step? Typically, we find that a simple comment program can help. So something like I see, or I have, or I hear. So if I said, I don't know, I'm looking at a book, or I've got a flashcard or something, and I say, I see a truck.
And I see a ball.
See, Shira says something different than me. So we're going back and forth and commenting. Typically what happens with a student who's a COIC is say, I see a truck.
I see a truck.
No, you see something different. I'm holding something, I have a ball, and she has to say something different. So that's the way to encourage that. I have a ball, I put the ball away. And then she says, I have a ball because she's a COIC. Like, no, you have a pencil. You're twirling it. No, just kidding. No, you have a pencil. I have a pencil. She says, I have a pencil. Good. Let's try. And then transfer trial. Try that again. I have a ball. Say, I have a pencil. Pencil. I have a ball. And doing that transfer trial. In other ways to do that would be, so after they threw the comment, look at our conversation section in the social skills section. There's things like comment. We have a template for do you like, what's your favorite? Again, it's a little bit rote at the beginning, but once the students have about 10 to 15 different questions, you do start to get some generalized language.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes down to comprehension as well. So many of our learners have learned to just give you the response that you want to hear, or to memorize responses to questions. And that's really not conversation. So it doesn't really apply well to conversation. You can't memorize it. Like, it's so dynamic. So sometimes just working on their comprehension skills really works. We always talk about Dr. Degli Espinosa's approach to teaching comprehension, where you're teaching like multiple responses. It's an approach where they're learning to answer different questions. So if you're teaching them like what does a cow say versus what color is a dog, so being able to discriminate questions, that's a huge part of conversation, because you can't memorize that. You don't know what questions the person's going to ask, but it's about teaching them to listen to the end of the question. So if you say, what color, they would repeat, oh, a color, red. So they're starting to listen to pieces of the question to be able to give you the right answer. So that's taught in DTT. So even though it's not like having a conversation, you're teaching it in a very kind of DTT style way, it does help to build comprehension, and that will apply to conversation skills. So comprehension is a big part of that.